All right, just what's the process of going through these bowl practices been like so far?
So far, so good. Last week was a lot of developmental kind of work. So a lot of our younger guys that haven't seen a lot of playing time this year got a lot of coaching, a lot of reps, and now we're kind of transitioning to to really getting ready for the UNLV game. So kind of back to normal a little bit and trying to try to keep things at a good pace and fast and I want to say light. I mean, not like we're going to have just extendedly long practices out there. Just kind of get it in and get our good work done and get guys on their way a little bit. So it's been good so far. We've had a lot of time to get to this moment. So I think we're so far so good. We're ready.
Did any of those younger guys impress you in the action they got?
Yeah, a lot of them did. I think we've got some interior defensive tackles that I think can certainly, as they continue to fill out and grow, I think they can play, and I think the number of guys on the back end, the back seven. I think there's guys that really at every position that we're hopeful for, and it's just good to be able to spend a little bit of time with them. Because when they, you do a lot of your work on scout team and whatever you say, you don't have that daily in-depth kind of interaction with those guys sometimes. So that's a good part where they can get in the film room and see themselves doing some things and get some coaching feedback. So, but I think I feel pretty good about our young guys and what they're going to be able to do here going forward.
How big are these bowl practices for those guys that you just mentioned?
Well, yeah, I think there's 12 of them, I think. So, and some of them are just geared. It's sort of like spring practice, although some of those younger guys don't get they're not going to get. It's not going to be 12 practices where they're going to get a million non-scout kind of reps. But I think it's still training. It's still practice. It's still being involved in the program. It's still kind of instilling our cultures and our values and our way of doing things. It's more time. So I think it's always good.
UNLV's offense got a lot of publicity this year. The go-go offense, they call it. Just what have your impressions of that been?
Yeah, they they do some unique things. A lot more two-back kind of formations than we would probably have seen thus far this year. Everybody has a little bit, but they do that more than anything. So that's a little bit different. They kind of challenge you with some formations and just some alignment kind of things, and so it'll be different. And we don't know much, about we don't play them regularly, so we don't know much about them as much. But looks like they've got the quarterback looks good, receiver looks good. I mean they've got some guys that can carry the ball, and obviously they're doing a good job up front. They've been a really explosive team this year, so we've got our work cut out for us, and really try to prevent some explosive plays by them. And if we can do that, I feel pretty good. If they're gonna, be able to light us up in the throw game and run game, then it's probably not going to be that good. So we certainly are approaching them like with a heavy amount of respect, and know we're going to have to play good and prepare good.
You guys are going to lose a lot of linebackers after this year. Do you use these practices to try and work through things, or is that more things you save for spring ball next year?
Well, it'll be a lot of spring, and it was last week of some of those things. But yeah, there's only so much you're going to do right now, and again we've done a good job all year long of of getting a lot of players in the mix. So yeah, we're going to lose a couple, but we've also got 4 other guys that have played a lot. So Jason Gilliam just keeps coming along, and we're kind of moving him around a little bit to some different spots to see where ultimately where it's best for him and also best for us. So and then we've got thoughts about like once the season ends going into spring, how can we kind of adjust some of our personnel even more to ultimately, it's preparing your best guys that are going to give you the best chance to win, getting those guys in position to play on the field, so we're not stacked up at one spot and now we got a log jam and they can't do anything else. We need to find roles for guys we know can play and move them around accordingly. So that'll be more. It happens a little bit now, but it'll be more obviously postseason as well.
Hey Brian, what is the challenges of the portal, losing guys, and then evaluating and kind of keeping a board ready so that if you do lose them, you're ready to go get guys? Just what's that?
Yeah, I don't know, it's crazy. I guess that's the most descriptive word I could find for it. You know, obviously we want to retain our own players, and I think I think we put our eggs in that basket as much as we can. I think that's the right way to do it. But at the end of the day, you know, things are what they are, and maybe you're not going to keep everybody, which obviously we can't. So, are not going to. So, yeah, we've tried to identify certain positions of need, and we every day there's guys that come through on our hit list, and we watch, and we kind of figure out, hey, this is really a guy we can go on, and we try to investigate and find things out. So I feel like we're always prepared in case something would happen. Yeah, it's a juggling act. I think we want to put the most emphasis on our team, our current guys, and make sure they stay, and we take care of those guys the best way that we can. And you know, there's certain guys that come in the portal, and you know, it's about money, you know, and I'm going to need this much. Well, we're not in that game, you know, so we got to try to find the right niche of guy that's looking for the right things, and you know, isn't looking to become a millionaire in this whole deal, because that's just, I don't think that's just where we're going. So.
What have your sort of initial thoughts been on Coach Grimes and how he can integrate with what you guys are doing?
Yeah, he's you know, a lot more of a low key personality. I don't fully know, because I think he's still trying to feel his way and observe a little bit, and not you know, not he's not stepping into things too deep here, I don't think, right now. But my interactions with him, he's a good man, and kind of fun to talk to, and just, you know, trying to get to know each other a little bit, and so it's good. And I know he writes notes all the time out there on the field, so he's making some observations about players and just about things. And I think when his time comes to really step into that role, I think it'll be good. He'll be ready, and guys will respond to him pretty well. I feel like guys. I think he's so far from what I can see. You know, guys like him, and are happy he's here. So I think it'll be good.
Jordan Peterson gets the promotion to be co-defensive coordinator. Can you speak to his importance for what you guys do as a defensive staff?
Yeah, he does. He's such a good coach, and you know, he really functions that way now. I'm glad that he can get that extra title as well, and I'm all for it. And you know, he's got great energy. He knows. You know, we have really kind of evolved into some coverage structure things that he's got an extensive background in, and he's really been a good teacher for all of us in that area to really understand things. And he's an awesome recruiter. He's got, you know, he really gets after it that way, and so you know, I feel like really good. Like, you know, he's the defensive back coach as well. So there are times where he communicates with all the DBs, and you know, then there's times that we separate out between positions, and then I'll kind of go with the safeties. So I have just so much confidence in him, and you know, he's a really good coach, and he's got the knowledge, but he's also got the personality and just all the dynamics that you would really want. So I'm happy that he's here. I'm happy that he's remained here, and I'm happy that he's earning some of the promotions, quite honestly, that he deserves. So he's a good man.
Brian, you know so much about KU and what the development of the program has been. You hear a lot about the offense, but this year the defense went from last to like fourth in total defense and sixth in scoring defense. What was the reason?
Well, yeah, I like to think it's the credit to the players. It's because it's a lot of the same players. So they're their willingness to do more, to do what it takes to really, you know, obviously we identified some things we needed to do better, and just an overall mindset of how we're gonna go about things, and they bought into that and done a really good job. And so I just say those guys all the time, it's just the nature of things in most cases where you're gonna have to, you know things about yourself and ourselves, and it's just not always gonna be, get as much notoriety, right? So, that's okay, right? As we kind of call ourselves the dark side sometimes, you know, where you gotta toil away and you gotta do a great job, but it flies under the radar sometimes, and not all the time, but, you know, I think we know that we've certainly done it, you know, really improved this year, but I also know that we know that there's still a lot more that we can do, but, I can't really take credit for that. I really give the credit to, our players who have really bought into what it is we're trying to do, and what we've identified. Hey, these areas really need to improve. Here's how we're going to improve them. They've embraced all of that, and you know, we really have, you know, aside from maybe a game or so, we've really played in such a way that we've given ourselves a chance to win, regardless of whatever else has happened. So, that's really what we tried to accomplish this year. And so from that standpoint, we've made big strides. But, you know, we're far from the end product also. So that's that part of, you know, getting some satisfaction and gaining confidence, but yet always reaching for more. I still feel like we're still hungry to keep doing better.